Welcome back to the show. This is Jen Rubin. This is Jen Rubin's Green Room. I'm so glad you're back. And if you like our programs, please tell your friends. They can subscribe and follow right there. They can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever they get their podcasts. So as we sit here on Tuesday, I must admit I'm somewhat stunned. Not only is Donald Trump in court on 34 counts of falsifying business documents, not only are we hearing testimony from one David Pecker to talk about the catch and kill, in other words, the attempt to cover up Trump's extramarital affairs and shut these women up, but, and this is what's truly frightening, we have someone who refuses to abide by the judge's orders. The judge has told him he cannot threaten witnesses, he cannot threaten jurors, and that's what Trump has done over and over again. Even after the DA filed his motion to show cause, even after he knew that this hearing was coming, Donald Trump refused to follow that. He must attack, he must be aggressive, he must be in control. And he's going to pay a penalty for it. The judge may not put him in the pokey this time, but he's going to fine him and he's going to warn him. And mark my words, I think he's going to wind up behind bars for some period of time. Maybe it's just an afternoon, maybe it's overnight, because he doesn't accept anyone's authority. He will not follow the rules. And his lawyer tried to make every argument and, of course, got nowhere, wound up pissing off this judge something fierce. When a judge says to an attorney, "You're losing all credibility with me," woo, that's scary. And the trial's only just begun. There are 1,000 other decisions he's going to make. And if you've already alienated the judge at this stage, you're in big trouble. So the judge is not buying any of this. He's not buying the lawyer. He's not buying Trump's excuses. And right now, there's a test. Is Donald Trump going to defy the power of the court? That's what he's been trying to do all along. He doesn't believe in the rule of law. He doesn't believe in the authority of courts. And it's up to Judge Merchan to remind him and remind the country that everybody is subject to the rule of law. He cannot defy the court. He cannot threaten people. He cannot try to scare jurors into leaving the trial, as he did with one juror already. So it's going to be a test of the legal system. It's pretty serious stuff. And although this is not, if you will, the point of the trial is the charges. It's very much the point of putting Trump on trial, because we're really testing the rule of law. Are we going to live in a system where one guy, because he's a bully and he's an obnoxious authoritarian, gets to do whatever he wants because he was once president? And that's really the test for Judge Merchan. It's amazing that this responsibility falls to a state trial judge. But that's where justice is made all over the United States at the trial court level. Now, this week, we're also going to have the Supreme Court hearing the immunity case. And I have to say, do not forget to be outraged. You should be outraged even before they decide this, because of the way they have helped grind his trial, this is the January 6th trial, to a halt. They could have simply affirmed the D.C. District Court decision. They could have heard this on a very expedited basis and already have issued their opinion. But they've done none of those things. They sent Jack Smith back to the circuit court. The circuit court heard the case, issued a unanimous, very compelling opinion. Then the Supreme Court said, "Oh, okay, we'll hear it, but not until April 25. And mark my words, they're going to wait until the last day of the session before they issue their opinion. And we better hope it is so clear and so determinative, because if it is a 14-part test with 3 subparts, and Trump gets to litigate how that test is applied, and then appeal back up the system to test whether Judge Chuck can properly follow the rule, he is not going to get to trial before the election. And that would be a huge miscarriage of justice. The Supreme Court has no business selectively pushing and compelling certain issues, like Dobbs, for example, like immigration cases, like the 14th Amendment case, to the front of the docket because they want to rule in a certain way and they want everyone to get there quickly, and taking another case and doing their best to slow it down and drag it out. They have their foot, their arm, their entire bodies on the scales of justice. And it's infuriating, it's inappropriate, and it goes to the heart of why the Supreme Court has lost its credibility. They are no longer impartial, objective enforcers of the law. They are partisans. They are Trump partisans. And that's got to end. So I certainly hope that Thursday's oral argument makes clear that there are at least 5 votes for a clear, decisive opinion that's going to leave Trump still going to trial sometime this summer or maybe in the fall, and the American people get at least a partial look at what the January 6th charges look like and what he has done. Because after all, aside from the rather stunning and offensive things that he did that are coming out in the New York trial, his greatest sin was against democracy. His greatest betrayal was our American democracy. And that really should get its day in court. Liz Cheney, as she often does, said something that was exactly on point. And what she said in an opinion piece in the New York Times was, it cannot be that a president foments an insurrection and we cannot deal with it in the criminal court system before he runs for office again. She's right. We shouldn't be in that position. And if the Supreme Court puts us there, it will be, I think, a disastrous day for the court and possibly for our democracy. So, speed, thoroughness, some spine for our judicial branch. We need it all, and we need a quick opinion. So, keep tuned this week, next week. The following weeks are going to be absolutely critical to see whether Judge Merchan and that jury, 12 ordinary people and 6 alternates, enforce the basic concept that the rule of law applies to everyone. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.